I'm just pressing the record. Okay. So welcome again, and this is the Social Inclusion Facilitators Special Interest Group, and thanks for the introductions. I'm sorry we missed that for the recording, but good to have you all here. So we welcome back, because they were with us a few months ago. We welcome back the Rangbhoomi team from Mumbai in India. Although I think not everybody's in Mumbai, but I think most of them are. So over to you, over to Rangbhoomi, and looking forward to the session.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, John, and thank you, IAF. The space has always been very beautiful for all of us. I remember the first time we came here, and that's where, and in fact, the last time I think I'll always remember, because John and Sandeep, or John, so it's Sandeep every time I get the name. Sudeep are the one who also motivated us to apply for the Facilitation Impact Awards. And we are very happy that we got one. Okay, so let's begin. This is going to be, we are applied theater practitioners. So there would be an element of theater in our entire space today. I may call this a space that we're all here in. So I'm going to invite whoever can be on video, and people not on video even with more enthusiasm. You know, we can sit wherever we are, no problem. I'm just going to invite you all to raise your right palm up. Welcome, Lynn. Yes, and then your index finger, just the finger, the first finger, yes. And I'm going to invite you all to make a big circle with your finger. You don't have to be like what I'm doing, do your own, however you want. Like up your head, sideways, like circles. You can go speed, you can go slow, you can go here and up and down. Yes, Elizabeth. Okay, round your head is interesting. Okay, Farah, wonderful. Thanks, Lata. Yes, John. Okay, yes, good exercise. Yes, Farah. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. And let that go. Wonderful. Yes, okay. Okay, and the left hand now. And the left index finger, same process. Okay, I'm going to invite you all to make a plus sign, like a doctor plus sign, the plus addition, the plus, yes. And you can, yes, even like Anurag's getting up, you can get up, you can sit down, make it big, small, however you like. Wonderful, practice more. Yes, welcome Tao, yes, and let that go, wonderful. Well, you guys are really pro, but I've got something else for you. Now both palms up. Da, 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 da. And both the fingers, index fingers. Okay, my friends, here we are. Okay, index fingers of both the hands. And this time we are going to make a circle and plus together at the same time. And 1, 2, 3, go. No, come on, circle and cross together. Lata, oh, I think Lata, very good. Oh, yes, it's like Diwali, we have crackers, Fulleri, yes, we are doing that. Yeah. Crackers, busting, yeah. Elizabeth, you seem to have you already know the paper, leaked paper. Yes. Wonderful, I like this part. Let's just go with it, no problem. Okay, good, Nia, Lini, Dhanrag, thank you, John. And I know we're all, people who are watching, I'm sure it's a lot of fun to even watch it. Thank you. Thank you so much for being participative. Wonderful to see you all so actively involved. So confusing. Yes, I love that. Initially, you know, in my years of sales, when I worked in a corporate, my boss every day kept telling me, if you don't convince, confuse. Don't convince, confuse the person. So, well, this is actually it's an exercise borrowed from Augusto Boal's technique from Theory of the Oppressed. And this is an exercise which we call it as demechanization, of how we are all coming from various spaces where we are following a routine, we know who we are, our identities are mechanized, is something we call it as character armor. William Reich, a very famous psychoanalyst, which Augusto Boal borrowed his work from, talked about how we become the armor, the character of the armor that we carry. If you see farmers, mine workers, IT professional. Okay, so let me ask you all, on a count of 3, would you like to show me how teachers are in their bodies? Okay, show me like a poster, still image. On a count of three, let's all do like a still image, like we clicking a photo. 1, 2, 3. How would a teacher stand in your class or sit? 1, 2, 3. What would be the image of a teacher? Yes. I like the face. Yes. So see, most of us just look at the collective image. Just see like a peep through if you can. Cool. And let that go. Release. Just shake it off. Release, release. You're not that teacher. Just shake it off. Wonderful. So did you see that we become the character that we play every day, and that becomes an armor? So the space is here where we're demechanizing, we are just learning the circles and crosses, we're confusing the brain, no problem, coming back to the space. So with this demechanization, we're going to resume we're going to work on through our PPT, but before that, let's just take a deep breath and attune ourselves back to the space. If your feet are touching the ground, so just connect to the ground, Mother Earth. Even if you're not sitting, feet are not touching the ground, you're still connected. You're still connected to the large parts of the Mother Earth. Any sounds are also okay. Okay. And as we come back to the space, we're going to share now some of our processes around applied theater methodologies. And then post that, we will be creating a space for personal stories and sharing an experience of how an applied theater process may look like with all of you. So let us know if you can see the screen, which is going to come. We are still not able to see the slides, will still come. We just started to share the screen. Yes. Cool, we can see the slides now. Okay, so we are going to today talk about drama and facilitation, especially in the context of social inclusion. And we move ahead. So we are called Rangbhumi, as Lini was describing at Rangbhumi. Roshan, we can go to the next slide. So Rangbhumi, the word in English translates into Hindi as, from Hindi translated into English as land of colors. Or Rang means colors and Bhumi means the earth. So the land, the earth of colors. It was founded, we are almost 11 years old, with a vision of spreading joyousness, abundance, power of expression, compassion, love, and a sense of equivalence among people. So our work is essentially, we work with children in schools as a part of the applied theater curriculum, work with teacher education, in applied drama in classrooms, and with adults in corporates, creating spaces through applied theater processes in unconscious bias, gender diversity and inclusion, gender sensitivity, POSH, prevention of sexual harassment, ACT, and a lot more. So what is applied theater? So I'm just going to invite anyone here, would have heard of the word theater? Has anybody heard of the word theater? You can unmute. Let's make it more noisy and disciplined class, no problem.
Yes.
Anybody has heard of the word theater or drama?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Okay, cool, wonderful, thank you. So theater, we probably how we watch a movie, or probably like we watch a screen. When we watch the movie, we don't go into the screen and interact with the actors. We know it's a film being played. Well, in theaters also a lot of times, I'm assuming that we are watching a theater performance. We just say a bye to the actors, and we then talk amongst ourselves. Hey, that was a great one. Oh, I didn't like it much. I think the character was very lazy and all that. But applied theater is a space which is highly participatory. It's immersive. It gives you the space to co-own the theater. The audience are spectators and never silent. It's a very, very active space where we co-create this space together, and you will get a glimpse of how it is done in a while. So applied theater is an umbrella term. Roshan, we can go back. Applied theater is an umbrella term embracing a wide range of theater practices that share an intentionality to provoke or shape social change. So very important is to see this context of applied theater, that it began from the countries like Brazil, which was under civil war in the early 50s, UK, where theater and education originated post-World War II. The children were under a lot of depression because of the war. So government started to fund a lot of schools there and create more joy spaces from countries like Peru, France, and USA, and a lot of it in India too, definitely. So what are the various methodologies? If you read on, it says theater in education is one of them. Theater for development, community development, youth theater. There are a lot of places in the world where disability theater, and in India too, it's been happening in a very larger way now. Museum theater, prison theater, and remnants theater. Yes. So applied theater builds self-esteem, it builds self-confidence, and manages anger, and very importantly, it heals socio-psychological wounds. And also it creates new approaches to participatory community development, work in the aftermath of trauma. So it's a very, very highly therapeutic space which gets created in a collective conscious way. So if you see all the elemental characteristics, if you move on to the next slide, the applied theater has a lot of texturized work around collective voices, community development, and social inclusion. Because applied theater focuses on multiple perspectives. It doesn't only look at one-dimensional work. It also encourages voices of each stakeholder participating in the process. It remains, as they say, being in the question always. We don't look at fixed answers, but always are curious about questions. Applied theater also looks at the direct reflection of actual life. So our work, we are very interested in people's personal life stories, what's happening with the collective community. It could be an organization, a particular group of teachers, a particular community, any community, and working with them. What's happening with them as a social collective. So as you see, point number 4 says it's a collective approach that we create. Thereby, the audience definitely, as the last point says, becomes very active because it is their story. They own it along with us. Yes. So applied theater practices, there are many. I mean, we will not get into today's not educational forum, but these are some of the practices that we follow as processes that we follow. Today, we're going to look at playback theater very closely and how playback theater in its intentionality and structure creates spaces for people's voices to be included. People are seen, heard, and expressed and respected for who they are and honored for who they are. Our constant endeavor is to also contextualize it with our Indian methods of theater. And we also look at Yoga Sutra as another important aspect of creating theater, which is generally viewed as only performative. When we think of the word theater, people think of performances, but what can be theater beyond performance? Theater is every day. Right now, we are all listening to me, your audience is theater. There is a screen, you're looking at me, we are performing. So how can we create more conversation? So this is one model of process work that we follow is the Indian Yoga Sutra, where we look at these, yes, Sankaral, I'll just come with a very interesting question what you asked. We look at these models of Maitri, Karma, Dharma, Gyan, Ramyam, Yoga, and Abhyasa. Each of them, like Karma, for example, looks at the value of action. In doing what I'm doing, what am I really doing? So when we work with organizations, especially, they invite us to also look at their value proposition. So we also work taking these eight aspects and create values, vision, and vision of the organization. So for example, as I said, Karma, another one is Maitri, which is true friendship. How am I getting nourished and where am I not getting nourished in my space of work? So looking at, and there are deeper work that we do. This is just a little example. So coming to Sankalal, you also spoke about psychodrama. So Sankalal, would you like to unmute and share more? Would you like to ask more on this? Or I can then respond. if you're able to unmute, otherwise I can share my response. Okay, so I'll speak. Psychodrama definitely, as the word suggests, psychodrama is a form of therapeutic theater. It's a collective, no problem, Sankalal, thanks for communicating. It's a collective form of therapeutic theater, generally comes under drama therapy, where there is a director of a performance and people in a group get together and one story is taken and the person's story, like today we will also do that, but in a hint of psychodrama, not entire. And the person's story, who tells the story, he, she, or they choose the others present in the room as their character or part of the story. So if my story is chosen today, so I can choose Roshan to be my brother in my story, or my parent, Linnea as my parent, one of the parents, Farah could be one of my friends. Of course, the person being chosen can deny, accept. Yes. So, and then the director leads the entire play of that particular event that the person has come to solve the issue or the conflict. And I've had great breakthroughs through psychodrama, and we've experienced this. We also do psychodrama ourselves, and I'm sure Roshan also has great experiences to share. So, yeah, but it's not a performative theater. It's never used as a performance. It's a therapeutic theater. Okay, I hope I could get to your response. Over to Roshan.
Okay, so now when we are, as you can see, it is what is playback theater, which we are going to perform today in front of you. So playback theater, we do not have any script here. Yes, we will perform on the basis of your feelings and your stories. So it is a highly improvisational form of theater, which will be performed on the spot or based on your personal feelings and stories. Now, when we talk about playback theater, it's also comes when the ancient impulse, yes, the ancient impulse to communicate and dramatize one's experience, thereby integrating it both in one's psyche and in the evolution of the community. So I have an example like how in our sessions also, there is an ancient impulse, like if there is a child, we were talking to him and we asked him, okay, show something which is related to the trees. So he showed all the vegetables, fruits and everything. And at the same time, there was another child who showed a pencil in her hand. And as soon as he saw that, okay, another child is showing a pencil, he got a pencil as well because he had it in his hand. So that was his impulse that came in his mind. So in this way, the stories also emerge. One shares and another feels the same or connects and starts sharing. And this is how there is an evolution of the community as well. There is, we all keep sharing, okay, there is a connection between people.
So today, as I said, we're going to concentrate and look at playback theater as a form of social inclusion. So if you see, playback theater has three forms. Either it can be used as purely artistic method where we can just go perform. We can have like form of an entertainment where people come, watch, share their stories. As Roshan said, the ancient tribal culture and the instinct in all of us to share, to speak. Or it could be as what Shankar Lal shared about psychodrama. So playback theater is highly therapeutic. There are people, there are practitioners who are drama therapists and take playback as one of their therapy practices. And C is what we are very interested at Rangbhoomi, is also to look at social and developmental process of a community. Yeah. So it can be used to create that as a process. So one of the most important aspects in playback theater is the red thread. So Jonathan Fox and Joe Salas, who created this work, really are very, very fond of this word red thread. And red thread is what we know. The thread is, we all know thread, it kind of is used for sewing, or we do stitching, or we build sweaters and yarns. So red thread is where we start to build in the collective people who come together. Like today we are 12, 13 of us. So let's see today and be inquisitive about what could be the red thread of stories that will get connected. And there is a story behind the red thread. One of the times that Jonathan Fox was in Nepal, where actually he discovered the whole aspect of playback theater, of oral storytelling traditions, he saw that in the interiors of Nepal, there were some workers who were working on the warp and weft. If you guys know warp and weft, anybody? The handloom, the weavers, warp and weft, is where he sat with them, and he was looking at them, that and in the evening when they finished their work, they would tie a red thread where they finished, because the looms were very large and they would not know where they finished. So the next morning when they come back, they know where they have finished and they continue. So the red thread of stories continue. So that's how he borrowed, and this concept. And of course, playback, I think the beauty of playback is that it works across all differences of background, experiences, and values. So we will look at the playback structure in a while. It starts with the warm-up. Then we will also demonstrate that how we invite story, how we play back and enact it in a performative way, and how we acknowledge the teller. There is a structure. Now, playback theater for youth is something which we are very excited, always about to move across age gaps, age differences. And youth, if you see children, youth, they are very, very excited, because it gives them the democracy to be who they are. Otherwise, in schools, they are given the curriculum downright, this is your work, learn this, learn by rote. Even in concerts and events, they are given scripts, and they have to be what the teacher tells them to be. But in playback, there is so much of, we may say, a liberatory spirit, that they can be who they are. Yeah, Roshan.
Yeah, so this is a playback theater gathering that happened in 2019. So this is the first playback theater gathering which was done for children and youth in the world, in fact. And you can see that the parents, principal, teachers, and children, everyone was part of this event. And it was like a playback theater event for playback theater performances done by children of one school and for another school. So again, a multicultural, multi-school concept that was you can see here.
And if you look at very carefully, there were all people of the community involved. The parents spoke about their challenges of education system. The children spoke. There were panelists who came from different parts of the world. In India, they spoke. So it was a very inclusive space where the principal of the school, in fact, spoke her challenges. So we all spoke about how arts, education and challenges in each of this as a realm.
Okay, so as you can see here that the playback theater performers, there are adults and children, both are performing together, and it was a performance for children as well. Like there were many stories coming from, there are many stories that came from the children and adults as well.
So now what we're going to take you through are very quick slides on how we've looked at many communities, and in each community, each voice was included in a more socially relevant way in the way that they wanted it to be included, not what we wanted them to speak. So the first, you saw how children spoke, and there was a listening space for the children. Here there are stories of the mothers of these children from Teach for India campaigns, and these mothers, when they spoke of stories where their decision was never taken in the household, but was never honored in the household where they live in, especially in education of their child. So the Teach for India organized this, and the mothers' voices were heard, and we played back their stories of their challenges of their own childhood where they were not allowed to study, and how now they would like their lives to be relived in a way that they like to. That was a very beautiful moment for us. These are stories of intergenerational stories of parents and children that we did for a family course, which is a formal course in SP Jain Institution of Management, where we listened to all the voices of the children, that the next generation of the business and the first generation of the business, their parents, and how there was a interest, conflict of interest. But through playback theater, we listened to each voice. And I remember that a father spoke about his a challenge in a business of a spare parts of trucks. And he broke down while speaking, he was overwhelmed. And we saw his son walking from the audience and hugging him. He said, this is the first time he's understood and seen me, that how I struggle running the business. So very, very beautiful moment of stories being heard and seen. Yeah, Lata, would you like to share something?
No.
Okay, yeah. So this is a remand home. In fact, this is a juvenile remand home where children in Bombay, they stay, they are in Arthur jail, and from those 120 days of their stay in the juvenile jail, they are taken to this remand home. And we were invited to listen to their stories of how their dreams are. And I still remember a child telling us that he's 18 and he will be out of the space, and he dreamt of opening his own school. This was 3-4 years ago, and I'm sure he would have definitely done that. And each story was very powerful, and I must tell you, hopeful, very important. Yes. This is a picture from BSF. It's a corporate. We are invited many times by corporates to do work for them. This was on diversity and inclusion, where there were BSF is a company where is a manufacturing unit where there are not many women. So this was a performance done to include voices of men, women, and all the genders that are there working in the company. And here if you see, there was very interesting to listen to a story of a woman who spoke about how there were no toilets for women in the factory units. And then her boss also came in and sat on the chair and spoke about that how the woman's employment in the company actually made him realize that one has to be so sensitive. He didn't even realize that there wasn't a washroom in the factory area. So that was so beautiful to watch, the red thread of how a woman came and then a man came on the same chair and spoke about his own obliviousness about it. Yes. So this is a very special moment where we had people from the LGBTQ community gathering, and here we performed for them all stories of being visible, not being visible, not being heard, just being there about, by their choices of who they are. Is each voice definitely was heard here. There were parents of people who belonged to the LGBTQA community. Yes. These are stories of environment and nature. If you see, there are very little children sitting of 4, 5, 6 years old, and they wanted to share their stories of how they can save the environment. What are their steps? What are their thoughts? So not excluding any voice of any stakeholder of the society. Yeah, Roshan, you can talk about this.
Yeah. This, as you can see, it's a collaboration of Rangbhumi with the Netherlands Playback Theatre Group. So the collaboration in itself, it was so inclusive. As you can see, what we are wearing red, and today we are wearing black. So usually we perform with the black costume or black clothes, but here a Netherlands group usually wear a red color costume, and that's why we embrace that. And similarly, they also have put some lights behind them. Like usually we also put lights. So they said, okay, why not? We will put some lights. So this is how we embraced each other's performative culture. And yes, and this was an amazing performance for all those people, those who are going through during this COVID times. They are feeling alone, or those people who are feeling lonely at the same time during the COVID times. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So here are some moments of impact. This is a very, very recent, with permission by Mary Smale. She was a part of this collaboration which Roshan talked about. She was one of the audience members, and she shared her story being a psychotherapist. She herself is a Dharma therapist, but with her permission, I may tell that she was very, not very good to have people come in her clinic during the COVID times, and she felt hugely feeling of guilt really embraced her, because she said it's my duty to be a psychotherapist, to get people and treat them. But in COVID, she didn't want to. So we took her story, and this is what she felt, that yes, she's back and she's now ready to open her doors to people. And she also thanked her on a Facebook post about how she felt that playback opened a lot for her, and she was received for her spirit, for her feelings of guilt, and not shamed because she's a psychotherapist and she doesn't want to treat people. So, of course, the impact of playback theater is that it increases perspective taking, improves mental health. It also lets people to build in a sense of reconciliation. And when we listen to others, there is a sense of empathy for the other in the inclusive space. So very quickly, we'll just take you through the social inclusion work as pedagogical practices of applied theater for social inclusion. Some of the work this is a different modality called theater of the oppressed. We'll just quickly take, Roshan, you can skip this.
Yeah, so theater
we can skip this. Yeah, let's move ahead. Yeah, Roshan, this one you can.
Sure. Okay, so here we worked with a NGO called as, it's a non-government organization, that means a non-profitable organization in Mumbai, Spark a Change Foundation. We worked with the children who live in slum areas, and for them we created a performance. We created a how spaces can be oppressive for them, and in the education field itself, how education sector is in a way oppressive for them. So here the children performed on created different forum theater, and where teachers were involved. You can see here the teachers were involved as an audience, and they were the actors as well. That means they are not just watching the performance, they can also bring change in the performance.
Well, this is the one that we got the award for, Facilitation Impact Award. Yes. So let's again go to the next slide. So this is the award that we received for the work. This is almost a 1.5 year intensive process using the next slide, using the processes of theater of the oppressed and playback theater. Yes, next slide. Next slide. Yeah, so we use these two modalities. Today, what we are going to perform is playback theater. And the other modality we used was theater of the oppressed. And if you look at the impact it had in the community, was that most of them felt that their mental shackle towards education has broken, that they can speak now in front of their teachers, they can express that they're not understanding anything. Yes, I must say the second point is very interesting. And most of these children are children of migrant workers who come from Nepal, north of India, and settled here for work. So there was one Nepalese girl who used to come with a lot of, she was very, she never used to speak much, but sit there, she would love to listen. And by the end of our entire 1.5 years, there were 4 Nepalese families, their small children, siblings, everybody used to come and play and sing songs, and they performed with us too. In fact, Roshan was invited to one of the weddings, 600 people in the weddings. Yes. So that was the impact of social work through applied theater to create more social inclusion. Yes. Yeah, Roshan, we can move ahead. Yes, move ahead. Yeah, we can come to this and then close.
Okay, so as you can see on the slide, that it's the name of the forum theater is called as Raise Your Hands Only If You Know the Right Answer. So this was particularly based on education field, how teachers, how educators sometimes ask the students, only if you know the right answer, then only you have to answer. So during this performance, we invited educators, students, teachers, even principals. So to create a space where people can speak about how they feel. how they feel about report cards, how they feel about as a student's life, and even teachers have their own struggle, right? So and even parents have their own struggle. So it's not a one-sided story. Okay, it's only the teachers who are oppressing the children. So it's a collective feelings that we got here through raise your hands only if you know the right answer. And this was performed in different countries as well, US, UK, and one of the you can see here that it was also performed in USA, United States, University of Washington College of Education. Yes.
Okay, I think we'll just, yeah, thank you. We can skip this.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for listening to us. And I'm going to hand it over to Nia and Anurag to share their experiences of playback theater, maybe 1 minute because we are running behind schedules. So Nia and Anurag, over to you. Nia,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So my experience with playback theater has been quite a ride. I have been, I remember my first playback theater show. It was amazing. I felt what everybody, it seems like everybody feels at their first playback theater show. I was shocked, intrigued, fascinated. There were so many emotions. Later, I was invited to attend a forum theater show about teenagers and their experiences. And when I was there, I never felt more heard because everything I ever wanted to tell an adult about how a teenager thinks, why they do the things they do, I could say that. I got a platform to say that, and I knew I had to be part of something like this. Thankfully, I got several opportunities to be part of playback shows as an actor. And as an actor, I wanted to refine my skills as much as possible so that my storyteller can feel just as heard as I used to feel. I still feel. And playbacking has helped me see so many stories from so many different perspectives, and it really helps me gain experiences without actually experiencing it.
Thank you, Nia. Anurag? Yes.
Okay. So when I first when I watched my first playback theatre show, I was not very comfortable with sharing my experiences because I don't know, sometimes I still feel like staying silent and just observing. And yeah, so that point of time, I was halfway through my playback theatre class or course. Yeah, so, and slowly I started performing with Rangoli, and I started to gain more experiences. I started to listen to people. Yeah, I started hearing people's stories because I am a very impatient person. I wouldn't listen to other people's story. I would just want to barge in and talk. So yeah, I have changed a lot. I have now started listening to people. I've grown patient. Yeah, over to Chaitanya.
Thank you, Anurag. Thank you. So we are going to now begin our performative last 40 minutes. So the theme for today's performance is suggested by Nia. It's the gatekeepers who owns the power. So stories of inclusion and exclusion. So we will invite you all to please share your stories at this point in time. Maybe if you're not comfortable, we can also pause the recording. We might be sharing a few stories. Maybe whenever you get on to sharing, we can pause the recording if you're not comfortable. So we will be very keen to hear your stories because playback theater is an improvisational form of theater where you are a storytellers and will gift us today your stories and experiences for us to carry back. Thank you. We can begin with Nia, your experience of exploring your gender and identity, and then with our actor introduction. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, so I well, I don't like labels for my gender or sexuality per se. I'll just say I go by he, they pronouns. And throughout, once I started questioning, rather than more on in real life, I used to be more active online about speaking up on this. And I found people very close to me, literally, who were having the same experience. And it really made me feel very much included, and I felt more like yes, these are my people. I had so many different experiences, even though right now where I live there are kids who know that yeah, Nia is a boy. uh, they will never ever actually use my proper pronouns, barely ever. But if I tell them to tell my friends who go through this, who have same out of the binary gender, they will online. Yeah, online. They will be happily. They won't even question it. If I say, yeah, maybe not use he, him for me. Maybe these pronouns are better. They'll instantly change, and they don't perceive me as somebody who uses different pronouns, but just perceive me in a different way, which makes me feel more better about myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Nia, for sharing that, and also letting us be very at ease with our own fights and dropping our own fights. Thank you. So we will begin with the poetry and then actor introduction. I'm going to spotlight all our actors for today. At any point in time, please let us know if you would like the performance to pause, the recording to pause. So we will pause. Generally, by our ethics of playback, we don't record personal stories. So let us know if it's very uncomfortable to you or you would not like to. So let's begin.
Quality, a mathematical form with emotions added. A code word for don't be paranoid.
None of us are equal, nor have equal opportunity.
Tell an autistic child he can be anything he wants to be, and watch him stem away the ridiculousness.
Poverty, race, culture, IQ, gender create our humanity, our destinies.
Prejudice exists. I can only hope that each of us embrace what is special and good about who we are and find our place in healing the world.
Find our place in healing the world.
Find our
place in healing the world.
Thank you. Yes, let's watch. Actor introduction.
Namaste. My name is Nia, and throughout my life, I have been included and excluded from many forms of groups for many varied reasons. And all this inclusion, exclusion has always made me feel a roller coaster of emotions.
Namaste. My name is Lini, and I come from a very hardcore patriarchal family. Thus, after marriage, when I saw my father-in-law helping my mother-in-law in daily chores, it was amazing for me. This inclusive behavior of my husband's family left me with a heartwarming feeling.
Hello, my name is Anurag, and throughout my life I've been neglected and mostly excluded from all the activities that children do by other kids and many other people I know. So now I feel very used to it.
Hello, namaste everyone. My girlfriend, she belongs to a different religion, which believes in not eating non-veg. But at the same time, she is also a social worker. So I felt a little tiring to explain her, to convince her that to embrace that people are there who eat non-veg.
Namaste. Hello, my name is Chetna. And to me, inclusion is an inward journey. A consciousness, as my name also means consciousness, Chetna means consciousness. And whenever I am a little confused, I turn to my inward self and remember, can I ever be excluded as a being integrated in the universe? So I feel very curious about these man-made labels or woman-made labels.
Curious. Curious to know these labels.
Labels. My granny.
This is my dear.
I feel,
Come on, embrace it.
I feel used to it.
Thank you, actors. Thank you. So, audience, what you just watched was a glimpse of playback theater. You heard their personal stories, our personal stories. So, what is playback theater? Playback theater is an improvisational form of theater where we do not have any scripts. Yes, you are all going to be our script writers, storytellers. The gift of stories will come from you. Playback theater started in 1975. It was created by Jonathan Fox and Joe Salas. They still live in USA, husband-wife duo. With a gift of playback they've given to all of us. So that is playback. And let's get to know a little better about who is there in the room today. So you don't have to come on video if you don't want to. You can use the chat or just, there is a beautiful thumbs up button. Now there's also a thumbs down button, or you can use emoticons to show, yes. So use whatever you want to use. You can unmute and share. So let's get to know each other a little better. I'm going to invite few explorations and share with us if it's okay. I mean, are you there in the yes? Are you there? Okay, figuring out. Or you're like, no, Chetna, don't even talk to me about it. No, 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 no. Okay. So our first exploration, please, everybody, tell us, if wherever you are in whatever time zones, did you have your first meal of the day yet, or first beverage of the day yet? Yes or no? Yes. Wherever you are, please tell us. John, yes, you can say no because we saw you having coffee. Okay, Lynn, thank you. Okay, you can also put it on the chat if you didn't have. So Thao, Daddy, Gloria, Sankalal. Oh, Daddy, you had. Okay, wonderful. Masala chips. Okay. Please also tell me if I'm pronouncing your name right. Is that Daddy? Is it right? So tasty. Okay. Okay. All right. So we already know what's been eaten in the room. Yes. So let us know who, where, let's say by a raise of thumbs up or hands, people who are in the mornings right now. Where are you somewhere in some space and time zone? People who are in the mornings right now, like 7, 8, 5 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Okay, 11:30 a.m. almost. Nobody. Okay, people who are in the afternoons. Anybody in the afternoons? 12 noon, 1 noon. Anybody in the afternoons? Okay. What about evenings or night? Late evenings, late nights? Anybody in this time zone? Yes, Mumbai saying hi. Yes, we are at 8:30. Shankalal, yes. Lynn, Daddy, yes, we have many people. Okay, 6 p.m. here, John. Okay, Gloria, Thao, you can type in and tell us which time zone are you in today. Okay, it's 10 p.m. at my place. Lynn, thank you for writing. Wonderful. We are evening now, Gloria. Super. Thank you for being active on the chat. So tell us now, what's your favorite food, everybody? Wherever you come from, what's your favorite food? What's being cooked? So actors, you can also share on the chat or share, speak. Anybody, just type in like we had masala chips or something is your favorite. Yeah, type, you can type. Biryani, okay, Matar Paneer. Oh, John, this is Roshan, Matar Paneer competition. One more person on the table, Matar Paneer. Okay. What else? Egg curry, Roshan. Okay, noodles, Leah, Liddy and Nia. Rice and dal, Thao says noodles. Ugali, okay, is that ugali or ugali? So Daddy, if I'm getting that right, is that ugali? Pizza, khichdi, yes, you can multiple times. Banana and meat, super. If I'm allowed to, yes, 3, 4, 5. Food is a great, great community inclusive process. Why not? Yes, a lot can happen over food. Yes, I don't have a favorite food. So tell us which is your not favorite food. Anurag.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite food item.
And thumbs up. What about thumbs up?
I'm okay with anything.
Okay with anything. Yes, sure. Pakoras and everything.
Yeah.
All right. So good. So we have a lot of food coming here. So my last invitation and exploration is wherever you are in the world, have you all started to see people handshake, hug? Is it still there or not there? Let us know with a thumbs up, like middle, not at all. Are you, yes, Sankar, yes, you're shaking hands, you're hugging people. Okay, here, okay, I can say this for myself, like we don't know a little bit, it's starting to come back. Yes, John. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, thank you. That's amazing. Thanks for all the participation. So let's move ahead and create some playback and watch some playback. So I'm going to invite someone here, or maybe more of us. My first invitation for all of you here, any one of you here, is how are you feeling right now? So this is one of my question which I feel we don't really ground ourselves and speak. We just say, hey, I'm fine, no problem. So today let's kind of ground ourselves, go inwards and see how we're feeling. What's the feeling we are sitting with? And maybe we can share with our actors can play back. Anyone, please. Gloria says this. So Gloria, would you be okay to unmute and share more so that our actors can know more to play back? What's maybe I would not be able to decode. Any idea? Or you can write it on the chat. We can wait. And we can have more people. Okay, we can have multiple people speaking in, no problem. Until Gloria types in, we can wait for Gloria's response. Anybody who'd like to share how are they feeling right now? Judgmental. Is it feeling? Yeah, that's definitely a feeling, judgmental. So Sankalal, would you like to share about this a little more? Okay, till maybe if you would like to type, well, like anything. My feeling now is fantastic. I love stories. Gloria says, I love stories. I feel fantastic. Sankalal, you can maybe type more about this judgmental feeling. Definitely would love to know more. Daddy, would you like to share? I see your palm up while I will read John's comment in a while. Yes, Daddy.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing?
Thank you.
Yeah, speaking from Tanzania, Africa.
Most welcome, Teddy.
Yeah, it feels good to be here. I came along with two friends, that's Gloria and Liz. We got the invitation from John, so we are very thankful to be here. Personally, I am, and I think the other two are as well. So we are looking forward to learning more things from you guys, and vice versa is true. Probably you could learn things from us too. So we are friends now. We are family now. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for embracing Daddy. Thank you for those beautiful words. Thank you so much. So thank you for saying this. And John, thank you. Quite calm, enjoying focusing on this session. So let's watch this in a playback. Sankaralal, yes. How these small stories can impact people and communities is what you are going through as your own feeling right now. Thank you so much. So we are going to now play back these feelings of calm and focus, and as what you all heard Eddie said, of embracing your friends, family. Gloria's love stories, she's enjoying. Sankalal is also wondering about impact of stories and people in communities. Yes, and so let's watch. So everybody here who just shared, you know what? There is a voicemail message, and you got to go to your voicemail message so you can hear the voicemail message after the beep, beep,
Hello there, this is John. There's this really interesting webinar happening. You should totally join. It's going to be so much fun. So you should join.
Hello, learning calling. Learning calling. What are you going to receive today? I'm waiting.
I and curiousness. Wait. I'm waiting for you to perform. I'm very excited.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I am the story. Yes, I'm the story coming from Tanzania. I'm coming from USA. I'm coming from India. I am connecting everyone here. I am the story.
Hi, hey. I am your little body. I am feeling quite calm and focusing in this session. Okay.
Hello, this is Rangbhumi over here, and we are so glad to see you. Can you hear our voice? The excitement of sharing what we do. Yes, Rangbhumi.
And your experience coming back to you in the form of playback theater.
Hello, everyone. I am the audience. I am one of you who is just being curious and wants to know what is playback theater. How is this social inclusion related to playback theater? What is Rangbhumi is going to do? What so many questions that I have. Yes, I am that audience member just sitting with you.
we are family. We are family.
Connecting us.
Yes.
I am the story.
Experience.
I am the story. Yes,
This is
it is
playback,
your story.
your experience.
I am connecting.
We are now a family.
Connecting.
Thank you, actors. So this was for all of you. Please share with us. Could you resonate with what we showed as a playback theater act? Please share with us. Were your voices reflected? Did you see yourself? Please share. Yes, thank you, Lynn. Gloria, Sankalal, Lady, John, Thao. How
Yeah,
did you-
lovely, lovely. Nia, you've taken on my alter ego, eh? Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this. So let's move on and invite many words, like in a more like bubble, like thought bubbles, popcorn. What are the feelings or thoughts that you get an image or words of? Thanks, Sankalal. Sorry, I'm breaking up here and just acknowledging. Nice feeling connected with everyone. Thanks, Sankalal, for acknowledging. Okay, so what are the feelings? What are some of the thoughts? Maybe random. We can share it on the chat. When you hear these words, inclusion, exclusion, what could be some of the words, images, thoughts that you would feel, or which are there, like sitting in you, like in your body, maybe in your throat right now, sitting and waiting to be like spoken. Words inclusion and exclusion. When you hear these words, today we are looking at these words. You can type it on the chat, any words, feelings. It could be sentences, why not? Any sounds, maybe what any experiences, maybe any thoughts, any past images, anything that when you hear the words inclusion, exclusion, maybe taking our time to just breathe in and share. Thank you, John. You said inclusion for you is feeling part of something, feeling that everyone is also a part of it also. Okay, thank you. So when you feel a part and you also feel that your others, everyone is also a part. Okay, so let's take John's sharing. Sankar is also sharing, Sankalal, that some community figures, they could be casteist undertones, higher and lower images. I guess, Sankalal, if I'm right, you're saying about status, the status of higher and lower. When you hear of these words, inclusion, exclusion. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Very powerful. Thank you for, I'm so glad that you're with us on the chat and bringing in various perspectives, Sankalal. Some community figures, casters undertones, high and low status. Thank you to you. Lynn says, it reminds me of my past when I quit my job to start a new journey of seeking the feeling of inner peace and inclusiveness. Of my past when I quit my job and started a new journey of inner peace and inclusiveness. Thank you, Lynn. That's very powerful. And thank you for sharing a part of your personal life, Lynn. It's a lot for us. It means a lot for us. Thank you. Okay, so maybe we could do something new today. Maybe all these feelings, let's do a short episode on these. You know, we can combine this and do a short episode on this, these feelings of sharing. So actors and audience, this is going to be all what you shared in a short episode of 4 to 5 episodes. Let's watch. Gatekeepers Who Owns the Power. We also have Dedi who's writing. I'm sorry, just acknowledging. Dedi says inclusive is essential. Everyone deserves to be included. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, it's a right. People definitely deserve. We all. Thank you, Dedi, for this comment. Thank you. Let's watch.
Lights चालू हुई ना रहन देना जस्ट यार रहन दे वैसे भी हमारे आधे से ज्यादा वोटर्स ब्राह्मण कास्ट के हैं who cares अगर हमारे laws are suppressing the lower castes it will just leave it be it will blow over in a few days social media में भी control है ना हमारा what यार रहन दे what are you saying no this is not happening higher and upper doors this is not happening
You don't belong to us. This is my community. You don't belong. You don't belong here. You don't belong.
Exclusion.
You don't deserve to be here.
Stay away.
Exclusion.
Away. Out.
Stay away.
Out.
Exclusion.
This is ours. That is yours. No means no. No.
Out. You don't deserve to be here.
Exclusion. Exclusion. Exclusion.
My journey of inner peace starts with finding, knowing, and embracing myself. My inclusivity with my team.
Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Save it for a rainy day. We all deserve to be here. This is my space.
This is my space.
This is my space.
This is my space.
This is our space.
This is our space.
This is our space.
My space.
This is my space.
Our space.
No, this is my space.
The colors of the land. Thank you, everybody, all the actors. Thank you, everybody, for sharing. How did you feel? Okay, thank you, John. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, actors. So this was a little slice of how playback theatre. John, you want to share something? I see you on unmute.
No, just fantastic, fantastic. I feel so honored, you know. It's like there's just a few of us here, but it's like we're feeling included, I think. But it feels like a kind of a real special treatment. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. So my invitation is, as we are approaching the time, I'm aware of the time, we're going to take one last sharing, maybe from any one of you or all of you. I really love the way that we're sharing. This has never happened in a playback theater, that there is a collective sharing and we are doing a collective story playbacking. So this is by itself a beautiful moment in playback, I think, in our history of performances. Maybe we can share a word or a feeling that maybe you've been here since almost, we're all together. As Dedi said, let me take your words, Dedi, that we have been friends for the last hour and a half and, you know, together with each other. So what has been your one word, a feeling or a sentence that you're feeling right now, sitting through that 1.5 hours with all of us as this collective energy space. And of course, there are more energies from outside the space which are contributing to the space. So how do you feel? Any other sharing which is still residual, which you still feel is not being shared? Any story that's there, any experiences, most welcome. Take your time and put it on the chat or unmute and share, whatever feels okay for all of you. Maybe that could be our last playback of the evening or morning or the afternoon. Thank you, John. He says feeling very connected and honored, as I said. Thank you. Honored, connected, Sankar Lal, happy for the authentic sharing of the actors and for their skills. Thank you for recognizing this, Sankar Lal. So actors, you can also say your one word or a feeling, maybe how you are right now. Others, meanwhile, they're typing. Only if you want to. You can speak, no problem.
Memories triggered.
Sorry?
Memories triggered.
Memories triggered. Aliyah and Lini and Nia says, wonderful, steady feeling included. Actors are amazingly talented. Oh, kudos, actors. Super. Thank you. I feel it's a new space of playback for me, of collective playbacking. I think I must write a paper on this. It's very beautiful. Lynn says, I feel curious even more about this methodology. You're so amazing. Thank you. Sankalal says, envy you and your team. Sankalal, please, we have an opening right here. You can join us for the next performance. I know you can pick up playback very well. Some sixth sense tells me that. John says, yes, that's the thing about creativity. Once you start, you never stop. Yay! Thanks for the invite. So let's go, actors. Let's all do this in a collective echo form. Let's watch.
Feeling connected. Feeling
Connected. Inclusive.
Inclusive.
Inclusive. Happy for the authenticity.
happy for the
Authenticity.
I envy you and your team.
I envy you and your team.
Hey, we are friends now, right?
Hey, your friends
Your
are right.
friends now.
Calmness.
Calmness.
Want to know more?
Want to know more?
Oh, more.
Amazing work.
Amazing work.
Work. And thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, Umar, welcome. So thank you so much, all the actors and our beautiful story sharers, story gifters, as I must say, gifted your stories, experiences. Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon, evening, night, morning. And I'm going to say hi to Umar, who's just joined us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And John, thank you so much for inviting us again. And over to you, please.
Thank you. How do I follow that? Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I think, yeah, I've got a couple of slides to put up, but nothing much. I think it would be lovely just to go around and hear something from everybody if you're able. Just any feedback to the playback, eh? any feedback to the Rangbhoomi team, that I'm sure it'd be great to hear any comments about the session, anything you'd like to share, if you wish. So anybody can start. Any comments you've got, or you can put them in the chat. Dedi, would you like to share anything, or Lynn, or Sankalal, and Umar?
Hello.
Hi there. How are you?
Good day, sir.
Afternoon, evening, afternoon. Unfortunately, got us right at the end, but we've got a recording of it, so we'll refer you to that as well. Sankalal has said, superb process of facilitation. Never seen facilitation like this. Lynn says, thank you, actors and Chetna, for this amazing event. Fantastic. Lynn has to leave right now. Thank you very much, Lynn. Pleasure to be with you.
Hi.
Eddie, you've got your hand up.
Good day.
Yes, John, as I said earlier, thank you for the invitation, and I suggest we should be having more sessions of this kind. I have learned something different, how these kind of sessions can be done, can be portrayed. Amazing views from the actors. They did a great job. I am really astonished. So I've had a good time, and I'm looking forward to having more sessions like this ones. And please, whenever sessions like this ones, whenever you plan sessions like these ones, please invite us again. Don't leave us behind. Please include us. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much, Teddy. Yeah, I just keep feeling honored because, you know, there's what do you call it? It's one of the principles of open space technology. You know, whoever comes are the right people. That's what they always say. And I think the feeling I have is, Rangbhoomi, you work with that, and you make it very special, whoever's there, you know. And we've had different people coming and going, but you've just made it special for all of us. So that's just wonderful, you know. Thank you. Thanks a million. I'm going to just put my last couple of slides up. This is where we were. Thank you, Rangbhoomi, again. So the Social Inclusion Facilitators Special Interest Group, we're supposed to have 2 more. We usually meet about once a month. Next month will be a session from Shalaka Gundi, also from India. And she's got something which is around about facilitation on a global level. So how do you facilitate effectively and inclusively with people from all over the world? You know, all these sessions we get, we never know who we're going to get from where and so on. You know, how do you facilitate that in an effective way? And December, we're going to have something from Basil Manning in South Africa called the OUMA framework. And that's a framework that he and many people, myself included, use in a particular workshop that is really around social inclusion and, you know, recognizing and tackling discrimination and oppression in all its forms. So that's the next 2 sessions. We haven't got the exact dates yet, but they'll be approximately the middle of each month. So we'll put them up on the website and send a poster around as we have done. So thank you again. If you'd like to get in touch with Rangbhoomi, please do so. Build the relationship. You know, now if I can use your words, Teddy, now you're in the family, just reach out, get in touch with them. That's Chetna's email, and you know, see how you can build on this. If you want to know more about the Social Inclusion Facilitators Group, Farah was here earlier. She's also part of that. And I am, of course, and quite a number of others, but that's the email address, or you can contact me. And for those who are not involved with IAF, there's the website and the information. And Roshan has put the Facebook page, so please connect with Rangbhoomi through the Facebook page. And I think I need to mention again, well done to Rangbhumi for winning a Facilitation Impact Award. And there's going to be a award ceremony, on an online award ceremony next Monday, 25th. I think at the same time. So whatever time we started today, depending on where you are, it will be at the same time. And I'm just putting the link in the chat again, so you can register for the event there. There'll be a lot of people there, all the different awards. You can go into a small room with the Rangbhumi team or any of the other teams to find out about their awards. So that's a really nice event. So thank you once again, and pleasure to be with you. Hope to see you all again soon. Yeah.
Thank you, John, and thank
you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.